Hi, I'm Rahul, and with me I have Piyush today. And Piyush is going to be teaching us kinematics, right?
Yes.
So Piyush, tell us, what are we going to be studying in this chapter?
In kinematics, the kinematics is a base for mechanics, and this is gonna help us in more other chapters in mechanics, like in further chapters where the questions are more complicated. And the topics that we will cover in kinematics start from like uniform motion, motion in one dimension, motion in two dimensions, uniformly accelerated 1D motion, non-uniform accelerated 1D motion, or like then we would go to 2D motion, mainly projectile motion. We will discuss the concepts like relative motion and velocity of approach concept, which are very important in solving many questions.
Okay, that'll come ahead.
Yes.
So tell me, what should students keep in mind while they prepare for this chapter or study and solve the problems from this?
The first thing in physics that you got to remember is that just don't do silly mistakes. In physics, you just have to apply some concepts, and there's some step by step, then you will get the answer. So don't try to skip steps, because even if there are difference of half vector in the answer, your answer will be wrong. Okay, and the options are always confusing. So at each step, just make sure that you are applying the right concept, and besides, physics is just very conceptual, so you don't need to worry that much.
Okay, so you need to be step by step, don't skip steps. Be very careful that you're writing down from one line to the other line, because that is where you're going to make mistakes in this topic. Like, I don't really think there are a lot of formulae to remember. Everything's very easily derivable. The easiest thing to understand is in two-dimensional motion, you should just treat them as in X direction and in Y direction separately, and just solve the problem, and you'll be very easily able to solve the problem. You don't even need to remember the projectile formulae exactly. Now tell me this, Piyush, what is something that has interested you in kinematics? What is something that you find fascinating?
In kinematics, it is the thing that is fascinating is that even if you just know one condition on the motion of the body, we can derive other conditions very easily. Okay, and that conditions that we apply, like for example, like the initial velocity, we use that to find what is the velocity, exact position, exact displacement of the body at any point of time.
Oh, so it's very determined.
So yes.
We have one equation, and we know based on that where everything will be at a point of time.
Yes. Obviously, like this is happens only in ideal condition, which don't happen in practical life, but still they're very useful in many use. Like in projectile motion is very useful, like in missiles or like in cannons and all the guns. Like also remember, like in 1922 there was like a circus, and there was a human cannon used, like a man uses himself as a cannonball.
Okay.
And he placed some blades in between, and finally there was some net there. So he know the exact position that where he will fall.
He will fall.
Yes.
Otherwise he'd just like...
he will die.
Oh, well. Alright. So people have risked their lives on projectile motion. So you can understand how terribly important it must have been to remember that equation. Like one silly mistake and... So, well, you're not really going to have those kind of repercussions. It's just an examination at the end of the day. But study hard for the examination, solve the problems that come forward, and remember, write one step at a time and be very, very careful otherwise. So let's move on to the questions now and see how this topic's gonna be. Yeah?